Power Rangers. I never really understood Power Rangers. I don't know if you liked them when you were a kid or if you still like them today, but even as a child, I never really got them. Yet somehow I ended up with this game. And boy did I play it.
If you've somehow never heard of the Power Rangers before, which is like impossible. It's like avoiding Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a team of characters who transform into different colored suits to fight evil and all that. You know, the normal kids show stuff. Mostly. From what I can tell, the original series wasn't too bad. Not amazing, but pretty good for a kids show at least. It got 3 seasons, 2 movies, and ran for about 3 years or so, and spawned an endless amount of series, merchandise, movies, and toys that we will never see the end of. Never. Never!
But no, we're not talking about the original series, we're talking about Lightspeed Rescue. This is the game tie-in from the 8th Power Rangers show. Why do I do these things to myself?
I've never actually seen Lightspeed Rescue, the show, just FMV from the game in the opening. So this review of the game is being done with little reference to it.
Unless it's blatantly obvious.
If you really love the show, I apologize in advance. Yeah, I said it, I'm safe. I'd be about 3 or so when this show was running, so at that point in my life, I wasn't quite at the point of critiquing kid shows. I was still an amateur, getting my skills in motion and all that. There's actually an N64 version of this game. But I don't want to murder my Nintendo 64 in cold blood, so the PlayStation will have to endure it. I'm so sorry, my dearest. Shh, don't cry, it's okay. Now, I know what some of you are gonna say. It's a kid's game. It's for children. Unsubscribe. Wait, why are all these comments from me? What? I actually really want to challenge my nostalgia here. I mean, I did that with Spyro and it worked out pretty well, so I'm pushing the bar even lower. I actually remember enjoying this game as a kid, but I was never really into Power Rangers though. Like at all. But I did find the game fun. I think. Well, relatively. The game part, I mean. Not how you play as the Power Rangers and fight the bad guys that you see on the show. I didn't really care for that. So I kind of want to revisit this with a critical eye and see what I endured as a kid. What could possibly go wrong? So the game actually uses random clips from the show, relevant to whatever's going to happen in the level. Like say if you're going to use a giant robot, or if the level is centered around a meteor that crashed. Okay, who am I kidding? Like 80% of it's just random fight scenes. I mean, I guess it's used to get you excited for the action. They actually play throughout the entire game, between every level and loading screen. It gets kinda ridiculous. I mean, if you were a kid who absolutely adored the show, I'm sure you'd eat this up. But even when I played it as a kid, I never really got it myself. It all kinda seemed unnecessary. Wait, am I seriously looking into Power Rangers? Is it just me, or is it weird that they don't have the theme with lyrics for the FMV, but they have the actual opening song for the title screen? For some reason, this really bothers me. Shouldn't the main theme be with the actual footage from the show? This game's already starting to pull me apart and I haven't even played it yet. All things aside, this is a pretty cool main menu. It's got a nice vibe to it, the whole gadgety feel and all, and it's actually kind of fun to play around with. Notice how I'm critiquing a game's main menu? It's cause I really don't want to play this. Mace, darling, I'm sorry, I take back please come back to me. Huh, 2-player, that's cool. But since I'm alone and have no friends who want to play Power Rangers with me, I'm going in solo. Hey look, different stats for the characters. Nice variation game. We've got all the Rangers here. The red one, the blue one, the orange one, the white one, the cyan one, and the mysterious unlockable character, who is, I'm guessing, this guy from the FMV. Alright, let's go. Hey look, more FMV. Listen to how exhilarated I am.
Alert status! There are reports of a...
So this is the briefing, huh? Neat. Oh god, look at this call. It's terrifying. I know it was like the year 2000 on the PlayStation 1, but surely, for something like a codec call, you could have done something better. Man, this guy really seems into his role.
Find and rescue the hostages. The hostages.
Like, I understand animation was tough back in the late 90s, but come on, at least try. Try a little harder. At least Metal Gear Solid changed its style so it would work. Did I really just compare this game to Metal Gear Solid?
That's your mission. All clear?
Got it. By the way, who are the Power Rangers?
The who?
Metal Gear.
Lightspeed Rescue!
Alright then, glad we're on the same page. So I guess I'm gonna start by talking about the controls. And, well, they're certainly controls. Imagine it like a 3D beat 'em up. You press the X button to punch, and press the circle button to kick. If you press the square button, you can... Where was I? If you press the square button, you can jump. Okay. You move kinda sluggishly. You're running, but you feel kinda slow. It kinda feels like you're pretending to run. It's not really a problem for small areas, but when the areas start to get bigger with platforming, it feels a bit hard to properly control. Hang on a minute, what's this? Blocking, huh?
This is art.
You attack in a somewhat string of combos, if you can actually call these combos. And if the arrow buttons or the analog are used with them, you can do some interesting combinations. If you move forward while pressing the circle button, you can jump and kick. And this is how you win. Well, actually, you kind of suck without it, so it's kind of vital. After a few consecutive punches, you or your opponent will fall over and take a few moments to get back up. But if you jump and kick, it's in one hit. See what I'm getting at? You basically just mash jump and kick, the enemies fall over, and you just keep attacking them until they fall over again. There isn't any real skill. You also have the block button, which you can use to not die, which kinda works, I guess. What I mean is, enemies will often spam attacks until you release the block button, and if you're surrounded, they'll just hit you from behind anyway. Since there's absolutely no punishment for just mashing the buttons against you blocking, it makes attacking back really hard. There's almost no window for you to intercept. Well, at least some of the later enemies have a smarter AI. They're more defensive, but they'll attack at every window they get. I mean, the combat system still kinda sucks, but at least it's something. Personally, I like to imagine the Power Ranger as a kid playing with an extremely vivid imagination, but the teacher comes out to say playtime is over, so they attack him and beat him to death!
I miss kindergarten.
You have your normal attacks, but you also have a special attack meter.
These items improve your special attack. The more you collect, the stronger you become.
I mean, I guess I noticed absolutely no difference when playing as I got them, but whatever you say. But when it's full, you can execute a super move with either L2 or R2, which kinda does something, I think. Honestly, I kind of forgot about it. If you execute it at the wrong time, you can get hit and it won't activate, but you'll still lose some of your special attack. It's annoying, but it kinda adds a bit of strategy, honestly. You kinda have to wait for the right moment to use it, which is kinda hard since enemies are always chasing you, but still, makes you think before you use for once, which is good. Oh my god, you have a dodge button? Dark Souls? Is that you? Yeah. What you got? What you got? So what's your objective, you ask? Save hostages, get some items of which half of them aren't even explained to you, fight some bosses, and complete a certain objective. Like, say, getting a stupid artifact, stopping a dam from flooding, taking back a train, you know, normal Power Rangers stuff. Yeah, we did it. Easy biz.
Nice moves. Show me your moves.
The game gets pretty dull and repetitive after the first 2 levels. There's not much variation at all. Well, in the gameplay at least. It's always the exact same enemies over and over and over and over! I get they're trying to be like the show, but you could have added a bit more variety. Even all the bosses have the exact same strategy. It's just hit them until they die. It's pretty much just a different skin with more health. Come on, game. But on the topic of variation, these levels are actually pretty cool. They're actually decently well designed, and it's clear that some real effort went into making these areas. They're all pretty linear, sure, but it's got some good variety, visually at least. And the music is really good, surprisingly. I just listen to this. It's easily the best thing about this game. It's got some really nice melodies, and it gives a unique atmosphere for each of these levels, but there's still a similar vibe in all of them. I gotta give it that at least. There is a mode which happens after some levels, where you play as some giant robot from the show, a Mechazoid or something. Stop it. It's basically a boss fight, which happens to be the same boss from the last level, and it's exactly the same. Different level, same stuff, same controls, same bloody enemy. Look, it's exactly the same model. The only difference is that you move slower and sidestep instead of rolling. That's all! You don't feel like a giant robot at all, or even a robot at that. I mean, look, you can really tell this is a gigantic, intimidating mech, can't you? It's so redundant and lazy, I just... Speaking of redundant and lazy, there's this guy. You have to defeat him and take back the train, or something. I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention to the gripping plot and dialogue this game has to offer. Are you okay, man? Like, really? So you have to fight this guy on the train. He spawns some enemies you have killed a million times and then disappears. Then reappears to fight you. Once you beat him, which I did by kicking him off the train by the way, you jump to the next carriage. And who do you find?
Let's do it.
Same animation, same amount of enemies, same difficulty. Like, honestly, it's not just twice either, or even 3 times. It's 5 times. 5! The exact same thing, copy-paste. Quality kids entertainment. This is the one level that gave me a game over. Where's the character for go f yourself? And that's pretty much it for the rest of the game. Nothing much changes. Different objectives, but the exact same gameplay. You know, as a kid's game, it's alright. Some of it's pretty darn cheap with the way they pad it out, but it's not bad. Not good, but yeah. It's certainly nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be, but it's not really good either. It's just in the middle. A couple of things about it are good, and other stuff isn't so good. It just kinda exists. And we all know why. Man, that was a video. Wow. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see something similar, you can check out my Spyro videos. Or if you want something completely different altogether, I've got some other shows that you can check out. You should do that. Also, I was in my friend the Skull Kid's top 10 games of 2015 list, which was fun. You should go check it out. Like now. Come on, do it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.